What number media day is this for you?
I think it's 7.
7 media.
I think it's 7.
You love them? On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give media days?
It was way more exciting when I was younger. When I was like first coming in, it was fun. Now it's like, I wish I was home. Camp starts tomorrow. I'm like, I'm ready.
Well, you got a kid too. It's like rather be there. So this is it's like 7th media day. You've had 6 coaches in your college NBA career with Cal, Coach Carl, Yeager, Kerr, Carlisle, and now Jason Kidd. What are you looking forward to with Jason Kidd? How do you think it's gonna be different than in the past?
I think it'll be a lot like Coach Kerr, just because like they're players, you know what I mean? They get us, they speak the same language, and a lot of times when you get through this process, there's a language barrier between the players and the coaches, or even players, coaches, front office. So like anytime you can get like, even our front office has players in it, so like more and more you're seeing that, and like, they speak the same language. And that's important. Like, it's super important. So, like, I think that's going to be our best thing. It's, like, the communication that we're going to be able to get and receive from him.
If you had to rank all 6 coaches, your favorite but there are like 5 centers on the roster right now. How does it change like your approach to camp at all? How do you see it shaking out? Or you're like, hey, I mean, you see it. You see the roster shaking. And you're like, hey, there's 4 other guys that play the center position. How do you see it shaking out?
Honestly, I haven't put too much thought into it. I didn't know we had that many centers on the roster. But honestly, I'm not really thinking about it. It's like I'm really just thinking about myself and how I could help us win, and really like they fall how they fall. You put in the work, you put in the time, and then you just see how it gels and see if you can make something click out of it. And that's that's how it's going to be with how they. It's not my job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's their job to see how they put it together. It's just my job to do the work.
So when it comes to your job, like what do you have to prove, or what do you think you have to show to earn minutes or to get to the top of the list of those centers or whoever else you're going up against?
It's hard to tell now. You know what I mean? Like we won't know much until like this first couple weeks of practice and playing. From what I could tell, it's on the defensive side. Mm-hmm. Communication. Just being a presence and. Like being able to orchestrate the defense is what I'm seeing that they want from that center role.
Yeah. So some lighthearted questions here. I joked about fatherhood a little bit ago. What tip would you have for someone that's about to be a father of a newborn? What tips would you have for them?
Sleep when they sleep. Sleep when they sleep, which is impossible, but everybody always says that, sleep when they sleep, but like you can't. You're always worried about if they're still breathing when you're sleeping. So for like the first, like it's been a year, I think we still wake up every so often just to see if she's still breathing on some like
10 toes, 10 feet.
Yeah, just make sure. You just gotta make sure. So that, and I would just say like having an open mind.
Yeah.
Like nothing's perfect. Nothing's gonna be perfect on the daily. So like the time's just not perfect. Don't get super overwhelmed. You just gotta let it rock.
All right. What would you consider a successful season for the Mavericks this year, or even just for you personally?
I mean, success. It's like everybody wants to win a championship. I think for us, a successful season is like seeing ourselves set up for it. Like, how close can we actually get? It's a perfection thing, you know what I mean? Like, striving for that perfection is like the beauty of it. Like, along the way of this perfection, like
journey.
Yeah. Like, did we do the right things along the way to get there? And like, I think that's the most like thing that I'm excited to see is like how well we put it together. Like, we can make it to the playoffs. You know what I mean? With Luka.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Can we all come to as a collective group and, do something special? That's what I would take as, like, is this season successful or not? Like, did we come together as a collective group and give ourselves the best chance?
Yeah. So when you look back at like Mavs history up till now, if I said, Willie, what is your all-time Mavs starting 5? What would be your all-time Mavs starting 5?
Oh, dude, I don't know. I don't know.
There's an obvious one, right?
We have
There's
Dirk.
probably 2 obvious ones.
You can put them both on there.
Yeah, Dirk, Luka. I'd put Kid on there too.
Okay.
Hey, that's smart.
That's smart. if
That's
you're
smart.
trying to get
That's
me.
smart.
Finn.
Okay.
That's a good one.
One more.
Say there's probably somebody else in the building today.
Yeah, Peja.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, I put Peja. in
Peja.
there. We gotta have a shooter.
Yeah.
Sacramento Kings connection. You get.
Yeah.
Okay. As far as like painting goes, you've been painting over the off season.
I haven't painted over the off season.
Will, you haven't been painting?
I haven't, dude. I moved into a
He's
new
not a
house.
baby.
Okay.
So it was not. It's not even a baby. It's just we moved and like I haven't even set up my art space yet. I haven't set up none of my garage space yet. So like I'm just now getting all my stuff set up, and we got a guy coming in and building me like a nice little art room. So
Oh, let's go.
That's
done.
nice.
Then I can't get into it until
Yeah.
that's done.
The space is really important.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Like,
It is. It is.
yeah.
When you've seen the movie Titanic,
Yeah.
have you did a painting like Jack did in the Titanic?
No.
All right, let's end here with some rapid fire questions. Would you rather fight if you had to fist fight somebody, no weapons, anything? 1 Boban-sized squirrel or 100 squirrel-sized Bobans? So you got a bunch of little
One.
tiny Bobans.
Yeah, let me take the one.
You take the one,
Squirrel,
the
yeah.
huge squirrel.
Yeah.
The big squirrel.
Yeah, the big squirrel.
Okay, what's the best and worst thing about being an NBA player?
The best thing is, I would say there's a lot of perks. There's a lot of perks to it. The best one is probably just like, it might be the best and worst depending on like the person, but the traveling
Yeah.
is the best and it's the worst. As like when I was younger, traveling was great. You know what I mean? Like now that I'm older, I got a kid, I got a wife. I'm like,
Yeah.
That
know,
setup you had in the bubble was really good, though.
and you kind of just, but like I would say traveling is like the most fun
Yeah.
Yeah.
until you have a kid and like stuff like that, and then you miss home. But like,
Yeah.
the traveling is cool, bro. Like being in a different city, every other day. is-
Yeah.
it's like, especially when you don't like, you never didn't grow up traveling, or like, when you get to college, it's probably like your first time really traveling.
Yeah.
And like, so once you get here, and it is every other day, you're in a different city, you get to eat, all different types of foods, like, pre-COVID. But
Yeah.
What's the NBA team outside the Mavericks you're most interested in this year? Watching, being with, or playing against?
honestly, I haven't been paying attention to nobody. So
Okay. What's your ideal like first date? So on like Wednesdays we go live and we do these random questions from Mavs fans, but then it turns in sometimes towards the end of like life advice questions and love questions pop up. So we're gonna ask you, what would be the ideal first date if someone's going on a first date?
like just someone, not me.
Someone not you with a in a different tax bracket.
Yeah, no, I was going straight to high school days.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
Man, I would just say like, I don't know. I've had my best luck with just like keeping it simple.
Okay.
Like going to the lake, taking a walk at the lake. Have some snacks. Probably stopped and got something to eat anyway. So you got your leftover shake or whatever, and you just vibing, man. Just vibing, talking, and let the chips fall. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.